Our guest today has released 8 albums, won 2 Juno Awards, 7 Maple Blues Awards, and 1 international songwriting competition. I'd like to welcome to the show today, Jack de Keyzer.
Oh, Michael. Nice to have you.
Thank you so much for coming on this show. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And you know, you've had this long and distinguished career already, and I hope it's going to continue to be a long and continuously established career. Now, you've shared the stage, Jack, with so many famous people over the years. Is there any one particular artist that you looked up and said, gosh, I can't believe I'm sharing the stage with this person?
Actually, there's a few. I really enjoyed working with Bo Diddley.
Okay.
Because he played so many different styles of music. You know, I think he's one of the originators of funk music too, really, because nobody else was doing that funky groove back then. Etta James, because she was such an amazing singer. And Otis Rush, because I was always such a huge fan of his guitar playing and singing.
Mm-hmm. Now you put out your own music, but you also produce for others. What's the difference for you in being the artist versus the producer?
Well, I mean, I like working in the studio, and I like to help people get their kind of ideas down and share the knowledge I have of how to approach it in a studio. Usually, when I record, I try to recreate the live feeling, you know, and I think a lot of people think there's a different way to approach it, but I don't really think there is, you know, not for blues anyway.
Really? And so, who are some of the people you've produced for?
Dan McKinnon is a young guitar player from Toronto. Erin McCallum, I've done 3 albums for her.
Yeah, our February guest.
Yeah, cool. Who
Harmonica
else?
Shaw.
Oh yeah, I've done like 3 or 4 records with Harmonica Shaw.
Yeah, that's right. And when you're sitting behind the artist, is there anything that you feel that's unique that you bring from a producer perspective when you're working with an artist?
Well, as I said, you know, just to try to recreate, keep that live energy going, that it's a performance, you know, and to erase that thing where people think, like, we can do it again. You shouldn't really do it again. Yeah. You should do it once or twice.
Now, when did you decide that blues was going to be the genre that you chose or chose you as a musician? Well,
when I grew up, most of the music, even popular music, was based on blues. You know, like in the 60s, you had a lot of the English bands were playing blues-based music. The R&B from Stax Records and Motown was, you know, a lot of it was based on blues. And so, I mean, I think blues was always a big part of the picture. And then when Cream and Led Zeppelin and Hendrix came out, that kind of clinched it for me, that I started playing guitar and learning those songs. And then some of the older guys in the neighborhood said, well, that's not a Rolling Stones song, that's a Willie Dixon song. And so then I went back and learned the original music.
It's interesting when I talk to people about the blues, and they don't think that they're blues fans, but then you start rhyming off Zeppelin and Hendrix and Rolling Stones, etc., and you explain to them that that's actually, a lot of their music was blues or blues-based, and they don't realize they're actually fans of the blues.
Right.
Do you find that a lot when you're playing, that sometimes people come up to you and say that you've introduced them to something that they...
Maybe a little bit, but I think blues has really caught on, you know. I think most people are familiar with it anyway.
Yeah. Who's one artist that you really admire today?
Today? Oh. Pause. Let me think about that.
Or what are you listening to today?
I mean, I don't have one artist that I listen to. I listen to everything from jazz to rock and roll to blues to funk, country music even. As long as it's got the blues thread running through it, I like it. You know, whether it's Hank Williams, you know, has that bluesy edge, or whether it's jazz people like Miles Davis that have blues in it. Yeah, I mean, today there's so many great acts out there, but I mean, how do you just got to surf through the internet to find them.
Yeah. So you've released 8 albums. When can your fans expect number 9?
Actually, it's 9.
Oh, it's 9 albums?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it'll be number 10.
But I'm missing one in my library.
Okay. Yeah, number 10 will be, I'm going to record it this year.
Oh, great.
I've got half the songs written, so.
Fantastic. And so will it be coming out probably late 16, early 17?
I would say late 16. Yeah.
Late 16. And is there going to be something different about this particular album? A new sound or something you're experimenting with?
I don't think so.
No?
I think it'll be blues.
Yeah. And is it mostly original stuff, or are you doing a couple of
it'll
covers?
be all original stuff, yeah.
All original.
Yeah, for sure.
And how about electric acoustic? Are you experimenting with that?
I think I'll stick with the electric guitar.
That's kind of the it's kind of become your trademark, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, I'll leave acoustic guitar to other people.
So what's the first song that you're going to play for us today?
The first song is a song I wrote called "If You Were My Woman and I Was Your Man."
And tell me a little bit about that song.
Well, I could give my secret away. I usually come up with my initial inspiration usually is if I come up with a strong song title, and then that'll dictate how the words go quickly. And in that, I was just trolling through song titles, and there was a Gladys Knight song called "If I Was Your Woman and You Were My Man," and so I put a spin on it. But it sounds nothing like that. But
really,
but I just kind of did
so
a spin
that
on
song
the
was
title.
kind of the influence a little bit of behind
Not
it,
the
or
song, just the title. I thought, well, if you were my woman and I was your man, I thought, well, if you were my woman and I was your man, and then I started coming up with these images.
If I was a Cadillac, you'd be my gasoline. If I was a Cadillac, you'd be my gasoline. We'd roll down the road, baby, cruising like a dream. If I was a sailboat, you'd be my real cool breeze. If I was a sailboat girl, you'd be my real cool breeze. We'd cross the ocean and sail the seven seas. Well, now if we were together, we could do everything we planned. There'd be nothing that would stop us, baby. If you were my woman, I was your man. Nothing that would stop us, baby. Now, if I was a jet plane, my rocket fuel. If I was a jet plane, baby, you'd be my rocket fuel. We'd fly up to heaven and right up to the sky so blue. Well, now if we were together, we would do everything we planned. There'd be nothing that would stop us, baby. If you were my woman and I was your man. Now if I was a freight train, you'd be my rail to ride. If I was a freight train, girl, you'd be my rail to ride. We'd roll down the line and travel in side by side. Now, if we were together, we could do everything we planned. There'd be nothing that would stop us, baby. If you were my woman, I was your man. If you were my woman, I was your man. There'd be nothing that could stop us, baby. That would stop us, girl.
you come from a musical family growing up?
I was adopted. I'm not really sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So where did you get introduced, or where did you discover that you wanted to play music?
I grew up in England, and there was an artist in England in the 60s named Cliff Richard. And
Okay.
Cliff Richard was like the English Elvis.
Okay.
And he played rock and roll and rockabilly music. And he had a fantastic band called the Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And the Shadows were a guitar band sort of like the Ventures. And Hank Marvin was the lead guitar player, who's still a big star in England, well, all over the world, really. And I think that's sort of what got me on the path to music. I remember my mom took me to see a Cliff Richard movie, and it was called The Young Ones. And I think it was 1963, and we watched it all the way through. And I said, Mom, can we watch it again? And she let me watch it all the way through again in the cinema. And then I asked if we could watch it again, and bless her heart, she sat through about half an hour of it the third time. And then she said,
enough.
Okay, let's go.
I got the picture. You've played music around the world and played festivals all around the world. Would you say that there is a distinct sound to Canadian blues?
Oh, I'm not sure. That's a good question. I think there's a distinct sound to each individual. I don't think you can blanket it. In the blues, there's so many different sounds.
Really?
I mean, I consider blues anything that's like three chords. Charlie Parker played the blues. Bo Diddley played the blues. Bo Diddley played the blues on one chord. Charlie Parker played the blues with a million notes. It's up to the individual artist impression of it.
Okay. And what's the final song that you're going to leave us with
Final
today?
song is a blues Texas style shuffle called "It's in the Way You Love."
And is there a bit of a story behind that one as well?
It's in the way you love. No, once again, I came up with a title, and I think if I come up with a strong enough title, then the words sort of tumble out pretty fast.
So for you, is it the title you always come up with first, and then it's not a riff or anything like that? It's a title, and then you build around it? How does that work?
99% of the time, it's a title, yeah. And a lot of songwriters write from that perspective. It's like a project. If what are you going to write about?
Great. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show, Jack, and it's been a real pleasure, and like I said, been an admirer for a very long time, and look forward to the album that's going to be coming out later this year. See Jack, he performs, he's one of the hardest working men in the business. He plays 180 plus shows a year. so the chances are that you will be able to see him, and thank you so much for being on the show.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on, Mike.
Thank you, everybody, for liking and subscribing to this channel. And with that, we will leave you with the last song of the day.
It ain't the way that you walk that walk, the things you say when you talk that talk. It ain't the way that you call my name, sounds so sweet and it sounds so plain. When it come down to push and shove, it's in the way you love. It ain't the way, honey, that you kiss, can't stay away, I can't resist. It ain't the way that you hold my hand, girl, you know I wanna be your man. When it come down to push and shove, it's in the way you love. It's in the way, honey, that I wanna tell you, baby, that's enough. You drive me crazy with your stuff. It's in the way you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, yeah. You hold me tight when we're together, baby, late in the night. It ain't the way that you hold me close, girl, you know that I love you most. When it come down to push and shove, it's in the way you love. It's in the way honey, that you. I wanna tell you, baby, that's enough. You drive me crazy with that stuff, yeah. It's in the way, it's in the way you, it's in the way that you, it's in the way that you. I wanna tell you about it, can I play it? It's in the way you love. It's in the way that you love. It's in the way that you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's in the way you love.
If you want to hear more great Canadian blues acts, go to bluestribe.ca.